So, very warm welcome to everyone. Today on Thoughts on Education, we have with us Dr. Jayaprakash Rao, Professor and Director of AJ Institute of Management, Mangalore. Sir has completed his MCom and PhD from the Mangalore University. Sir has been associated with the academics for almost 38 years now and worked with a lot of colleges like Canara PU College, Mangalore University, AJ Institute of Management from 9 years now. Sir's research area lies in the area of life insurance. Sir is currently guiding 7 MPhil students and 5 PhD scholars. Sir has been holding key positions in the Mangalore University and the Government of Karnataka, positions like Academic Council, Member of Board of Studies, Member of Board of Examination, Member of the Local Inspection Committee for Mangalore University. Sir has also held key leadership positions in professional bodies, like Sir has been the President of Mangalore University Commerce Teachers Association. Sir is also the Director of Teachers Credit Cooperative Society Mangalore since 1994. And Sir is also the Director and Vice President of Sri Subramanya Sabha, Mangalore. Sir has been associated with 12 national seminars, 10 state-level seminars, and 40 university-level seminars. And from AJ Institute of Management, Sir has been serving as a director for almost 9 years now. So we are very, very honored and delighted to have Sir today on the panel. A very warm welcome to you, Sir.
Thank you.
So my first rather question to you is that you have been associated with a lot of colleges and universities and have held key positions there, right? So what do you define your leadership style? What is the leadership style that you generally follow in across all colleges and being the director of AJIM?
Yeah, in fact, at the outset, I profess to thank your organization, Kali Dunia, for giving us an occasion to portray our college, like the credentials of the college. So our institute is accredited by NAC also. Second cycle has been finished. So our management is the Lakshmi Memorial Education Trust, which runs course of professional colleges like medical, dental, engineering, paramedical, nursing, so on and so forth. The right question, as a leader, I have to deliver something. So I am in the field of the education for the last 38 years, as you have told already. So I believe in participative leadership. I make everyone involved in the process. In the beginning of every year, we sit together, plan for the things, join hands together to execute the things, applaud the contributions of each other, and share the success. So for the last 38 years, I never felt any, lacuna or the gap between the institute, the teacher, and the management and the students. So everything is happening very well. So as a result of that, today we have got 3 batches of MBA. So I know who was the position way back around, 10 years back. So about 90 students were there. Today we have got 360 students. So it is just because of the contribution of every faculty, I feel.
Sure, sir. So, sir, thank you for the answer. My next question would be that, being the director, pretty sure a lot of important decisions lies in your hand. And how do you go about strategizing the marketing and the administrative aspects of your institution?
So coming to the point of administrative, for example, plan, do, check, action is our procedure and the plan. At the beginning of each semester, we plan out the entire semester programs, we schedule the things, we check the things whether it is happening, we conduct the review meetings. So at the end of each semester, again, we review what has happened and what has not happened. So generally, at the end of every semester, we also conduct an academic audit. So we see what has happened and what is the contribution of each faculty, how was the participation from the student side. So why, if any program has not happened, for example, what is the reason? So we schedule the things very systematically and accordingly we follow things. So all these things are being managed by the council advisor. So for example, we have totally divided the sector into 2, one academic and another co-curricular. Curricular aspects are being monitored by the Dean Academic Affairs, and the co-curricular, extracurricular and others, so on and so forth, are being managed by the council advisor. So it has been followed very successfully. Coming to the marketing point, as you are told, so I strongly believe that good deeds will market us, I mean, without any problem like. So we have been, for example, say, I have seen the institute for the last 12 years. So the 22nd years of functioning, almost 22 batches have gone out of the institute. We have started way back 1999. Ours was the first institute, in fact, in the entire Mangalore University area to commence the MBA program. So the quality, so I have been telling my faculty, you don't have to worry about the admissions. We don't have to worry about the student strength. You deliver the things with the quality. Whatever you do, see that it is being given to the students with the quality. Maybe the teaching, maybe the curricular program, maybe the extracurricular program, anything like co-curricular. Ensure the quality. Automatically students will come. And it is proved beyond doubt. So as a result of that, I already told, so in way back, say around 10 years back, only 90 students were there. Today we have got 360 because just we ensure the quality. Today, you know, quality conscious. All people are worried about the quality. It is not important what are you doing, it's what quality you are offering. So our quality consciousness has paid us very rich dividend for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, pretty sure about that. So, sir, and you know, being at the Mangalore University and being the board of examiners and board of the academic council there. So, what do you think your roles and responsibilities are to the university, and at the same time, your roles and responsibility to students of AJIM, sir?
You see, today education is redefined. Gone are the days that teacher delivers something, students accept that. Today, college education is not restricted to the classroom. It is not passing on information from the teacher to the student. So we should be the role model for the students, in fact. We should be the role model for the students, in fact. Today, education is nothing but imparting the knowledge which is very essential. Skills that are relevant and values which are foundational. That means you deliver anything, you provide anything. These three components must be there. So that is why today education is called as Trinity. One first part, teaching and learning. Second part, research and publication. And third part, extension and development. All these should come along when you deliver things to the students. So that is why I'm telling we need to prepare students for future challenges. For that, we need to prepare the need-based education. What is required today in the market, that has to be given. So as far as my knowledge goes, business education is totally a different ball game. 50% of the learning will take place inside the four walls of the classroom. The remaining 50% they have to get from the outside world. It may be by organizing the program, it may be attending the conferences, it may be the presentations, it may be conducting the social surveys, it may be through going to the internship for 1 month, so conducting the taking of the project work. So all these things will enable the students to gain a lot of learning experiences which really boost their self-confidence. So as a teacher, I feel, as a director, I feel I must be a role model. I must walk the talk. So I have got the responsibility of preparing the students for the future challenges. I have to prepare them for the role of a successful employee, as a responsible citizen, loving parent. So this is the responsibility of the education today. This is a responsibility of the management education today. This is a responsibility of any education institution for that matter. We can't restrict ourselves to the academics. We need to prepare them for the world. We need to prepare for the challenges. So this is rightly understood by the institute, and accordingly we are delivering things to the students. I have seen a very clear difference in a student. How is he in the first semester, and what is the confidence level when he is going out of the institute in the fourth semester. You have see. So this is what I tell the parents also. You have to see them, what are the changes occurring in between these 4 semesters.
Right. Sure, sir. So thank you so much for the answer, sir. Now moving on to more about the college. Right. So, and especially I want to talk about, inbound students. The foreign countries' education and the education system in India is very different, right? So what can an inbound student gain from studying at AJIM?
We have deputed our students to around 12 management fairs, national level management fairs. in and around Mangalore, Udupi and all. After that, in 8 they have won the overall championship as well as the runner championship.
Okay.
So almost 98 prizes they have won. So this is the credential of the AJ Institute of Management, how we can boast that we are providing the best of the best education to students. So this is what I feel that, so that is the reason why I can tell that without any hesitation that definitely we can mold the students as per the requirements. We will provide the need-based education. We know how to give the education, what is it, how the delivery should take place in terms of academics and curricular and co-curricular programs. So this has made us a very different and unique institution offering MBA education for the last 10 years or so.
Right. And sir, any insights into how the college or the university can be welcoming to students from different races or different economic backgrounds?
So we believed in compassionate education. Our vision is that every student from every strata of life should get the education, need-based education, should get the education. No student should, say even the ultimate student should not feel that I am deprived of the education because I had no money. So accordingly, we have developed the fee structure also. So you can see our fee structure is very minimum because we are able to manage the things because of the strength of our management who are running the scores of education institution, including medical and dental. So for the last 10 years, we have kept our fees minimum, ensuring the best quality. So that is the way how we can tell that our institution is different from others.
Right. And sir, how do you see AJIM's, as the greatest strength? What according to you is the greatest strength for AJIM?
Delivery of the curriculum.
Okay.
Unique delivery of the curriculum has totally made us different from other institutions. We have got a very clear demarcation how the academic should be delivered and how the co-curricular things will have to be delivered to the students. So for example, if I come to the academic aspect, so academic aspects include not only the classroom, we believe in interactive classrooms. All the classes are ICT enabled classrooms. We conduct the case analysis, role model, then say conduct of survey, then for example, say presentation, seminars. These are all the components of the academics. Coming to the co-curricular, for example, co-curricular, we have got umpteen number events in the entire one academic year, for example. Say, for example, how I can tell different from other institution, I can tell one or two examples for you. So around 4 years back, we introduced one theme called preparation of short movies. Preparation of short movies. For example, say we have got in the first year, we have got 180 students. We develop them, we divide them into 10, almost 18 different groups. In each group, 10 students will be there. We will give them one task. Prepare the short movies on any social theme for 10 minutes. So in each team, there will be 10 students. So these particular tasks now has given us the training on all the principles of management. Say, for example, controlling, planning, organizing, execution. So with that particular task, they're able to, so I have seen the miraculous changes in the student, for example. So on a particular day, each team should come to the stage. They have to demonstrate their short movie. So they have to give 5 to 10 minutes of presentations about the theme, about the experience, about the coordination part. So this has created a wonderful result. So I have seen, for example, even NAAC has appreciated. It's a wonderful concept they have developed. So they have taken a few short movies for their references and all. Okay. So while doing so, I have seen lots of leaders are emerging out. Lot of artists are emerging out. So their confidence level has gone to the highest level because time is given to them. Freedom is given to execute their planning. So likewise, for example, say we also have one system called giving or presentation of inspirational movies. In each class, for example, one movie is presented. any inspirational movie. After the presentational movie, students will have to discuss about the social and marketing dimensions of the movie.
Okay.
So this has really created the wonderful result among the students. They're able to open up, they're able to come front and speak. So for example, say you may wonder, our is a management institute, we have got one vermiculture unit. So we have, so each dry leave of our institute is being used over there, including the canteen waste and all. So it has got two dimensions. One is, of course, the social dimension, another is academic dimension. Every year, at least 2 students will have to complete their project work over there with the, say, garbage management, waste management, say, marketing aspect of the vermicomposting, cost and marketing of vermicomposting. So it has got academic dimension also. So this is what I'm telling. Our academic programs will tell what we are, in what way the agency management is different from other management institutions.
Right. Lovely. Sure. So that's a very unique thing that, any B school I have heard that is following that, these practices, something that is very practical at the same time. Students are learning from that, right?
Yeah,
so I think
of
it's
course.
very unique, very unique.
Yeah.
Sure, sir. So moving on to, a little bit apart from university. So what do you think are, should be the top priorities for you for the next 10 years for the college, sir?
Skill building, and skill building.
Okay.
You got the point, no? Our students have got everything. Youth has got everything, but no skill which is required by the industry. So that's very important. So in fact, no, we need to provide two kinds of knowledge to the students. One is how to think, there is knowledge component. Another, how to live, there is a skill component. I have seen lots of students with good academics, they are not able to get the required jobs because they lack the skill. We need to develop the skill building, employable skills among the students. So I feel there is a major challenge and the major vision which you are supposed to carry for next 10 years. Nothing. Skill building is supposed to be the top priority. Without that, no student can survive today. So I have interacted with lots of industrialists. So we see only two things among the students when they have applied for the job. One is their communication level, and another, the articulation and their ability to work with the group. Only these two things we observe. So accordingly, we need to prepare them. I've seen today about 60% of students come to us without any communicative ability. So that is a major challenge. They don't know how to articulate things. They don't know how to take the leadership. So their confidence level will be at the low level. Like we need to boost their confidence level. So these are the major challenges. So that is why majority of our academic and co-curricular activities are based on how to develop the skill. So for academics, how to present the things, presentation. By doing that, student can develop the confidence level. So skill building is our major challenge as well as the major vision, supposed to be the major vision for next 10 years.
Awesome. Thank you. And sir, what do you think, are the biggest challenges you see for higher education in general? And any challenges that you see for AJIM as well?
I perceive only two challenges. One is the cost, another is the quality. Mounting cost of higher education. Really wondering, how do we manage? So in one side, cost is enhancing, like it may be the cost being involved in towards the university, our affiliation fee, service fee, admission fee.
Right.
Say the cost of providing the facilities, cost of procurement of the library and other, computer lab resources. On the other hand, students' paying ability has reduced, particularly for the last 2-3 years. I'm seeing when our economy is when it is not doing very well, students, they find it very difficult to manage the resources. Even the banks are not as free as we think, while it is a question of lending the loan, because they see students are not repaying. So cost management is the first challenge I have I'm facing for the last 2 to 3 years, and which may continue for next 3 to 5 years. And another, quality. Fall in the quality of education and fall in the quality of students. So I have already I have mentioned that whenever the number enhances, quality will be the first casualty. Quality sustains. Quality is the real problem. So cost management and quality management, these are the two important challenges we have been facing for the last few years.
Sure. I think that's all from my side. Just I would want your small advice to the current youth and the aspiring students. What would be your advice to them, sir?
I can suggest a few things to the students. Always they have to keep in the front of their memory. The first principle is that the first clue they have to always keep in their mind that the real world is different. When they go to the classroom, they feel that they're fish out of water. So for that, they have to prepare themselves. They have to have the confidence of facing the challenges. And I also suggest the students that whatever the degree they possess, it is only the permit to apply for the job. It is not the stamp of authority. Just for example, I am a MBA graduate. I can't tell that I am an expert. So an MBA graduate is allowed, he is permitted to apply. So to get the jobs, to get the suitable job, he must be qualified with the requirements. He should have the knowledge, he should have the skill, and he should have the social values as such. And also suggest by students, the young, the youth, that keep your hands dirty. Develop the work culture. That's very important. So, for example, we appreciate the Japanese just because of the work culture. Yeah. So we need to develop the work culture. That's very important. I also suggest my students that in the beginning of your career, learning is more important than earning. You don't bother how much you're going to earn. Get the learning inputs from the industry. You do any work. Try to learn the things. See, for example, one individual can learn up to 40 years. So till 40 years, the learning curve will go upward. Thereafter, it bends downward. I can't today study the speed at which my students can learn. So for them, that is the right age to learn the things. For 1 or 2 years, they have to bother how much, how best, how more they can learn. Automatically, earning will take place. And naturally, and finally, I also suggest the students that don't bother what's happening around you. Focus on the task. You think that all the people around you, all the systems around you are good. Focus on the work you are performing. Develop the positive attitude. Feel that the colleagues, they're all good. Feel that the facilities being provided by the company, the organization in which you are serving is the best. So develop the positive attitude. Naturally, you can deliver the things.
Yeah. Okay, sure, sir. Thank you so much for that advice. Pretty sure that it will reach out to a lot of students and they will be able to take something positive out of this. And thank you once again, sir, for taking out the time and conversing with us, talking about your college, talking about yourself and the priorities, that the vision that you see for the college. I think it was a lovely introduction and a lot of information definitely about AJIM that was not known previously has now come to light. Right. So thank you so much once again, sir.
Thank you.